We have here today with us an honored guest, Allen Vaysberg. And Allen is the founder of the School of Human Potential and a successful entrepreneur who within the IT consulting industry built several multi-million-dollar businesses. Although he was living the American dream, deep inside he knew something needed to change because even with all his successes, he still felt unfulfilled. Thus he began his transition away from IT. He discovered that in order to live a fulfilled life, he needed to pursue his soul's purpose. By taking charge of his destiny and following his dreams, Allen finally found peace and felt complete. Today, he inspires individuals to live their essence and assists them in recalibrating their lives. He does so through many different mediums, including his coaching practice, Recalibrate Your Life. Allen is a motivational speaker, syndicated talk show host, life purpose coach, and best-selling author. His weekly radio program, School of Human Potential, brings guests ranging from Lisa Williams to Yakov Smirnov and everyone in between. So welcome, Allen.
Thank you very much for having me, Sharon, and thank you, Michael, for making this opportunity.
Well, Allen, you have here the seamless method, and we're curious to know a little bit more about that and how you got started with this.
Honestly, I created something for myself because I've noticed a very simple truth. Every time I would go on vacation, I would feel wonderful. I know I'm really breaking new ground here, but I started really noticing it. And I thought, why is it that every time I'm on vacation, I'm feeling good? Is it because there is no stress? And no, that certainly was not the case because I was there with children and the travel component, so there was plenty of stress to go around, especially with little kids, making sure that they don't eat something that we don't want them to eat or don't run and kill themselves while they're playing. So it wasn't the stress. It certainly wasn't the food because there you have the buffets, all you can eat, so I was eating more. I certainly wasn't eating healthier, but I was feeling great. So it wasn't the amount of stress. It wasn't the food. What was it? And I started thinking, well, it could be that I was more relaxed. Maybe. Maybe I was spending a little bit more time relaxing on the beach. Perhaps I was sleeping a little bit more. Perhaps it was because I was so active all the time. We were running around. It was in the fresh air. We were breathing in this sea breeze and the air that comes with it. And as I started putting these things together, I started doing research. I heard at Celebrate Your Life conference, I heard Deepak Chopra. And it blew me away when he essentially said that after 2 years of research, with all of their money, they came up with the same reasons. That you have to have exercise, fresh air, sleep, and less stress. I said, my goodness, I came up with that on my own, and it matches the research. There has to be more to it. So in order for myself to be healthy on a regular basis, because unfortunately we don't go on vacation that often, I started saying, okay, I need to do these things. And more things started coming into the mind. And that eventually became the Seamless Method, which is an acronym standing for the 8 things that we should be doing every day.
8 things. That sounds like a lot of things to be doing in one day. How do you attribute being able to be stress-free with these 8 things?
Stress-free is a hard thing to do. I think the whole idea of stress management, in itself, is a problem because we assume that stress is always there. We have to manage it. We have to reduce it. We have to eliminate it. Why does stress have to be there? But it is. We live in a material world. We work. We drive. We have kids. We have priorities. We have money, things that we have to worry about. We have elders that we need to take care of. It just happens. So how do we, in our very busy lives, take these 8 things and add that to the top of what we already do with work, with family, with all the problems that are ongoing? And that was the concern. But over time, I was able to come up with 8 different techniques on how anybody, regardless of how old you are, how much money you have, can very flexibly apply this program to their life and actually make it happen.
That's really interesting because, we need some systematic approach to life because we get bombarded by so many different things, like you said, the financial stress, the family, taking a nice vacation, and even the stress of being on vacation and then getting back. And what do? You go back to work or go back to your everyday life, and the time of the vacation is gone. At some point it kind of disappears and you're back in the flow of, everyday life.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we were in the flow of everyday life and actually working for a couple of weeks and going on vacation 50 weeks a year? I think that may be okay for some people.
Oh, I'm sure that would be. That's what retirement would be like.
Yeah, but by the time you retire, then there goes the health, there goes the ability of actually spend as much money as you want. Then we're dealing with all other issues. And that actually raises the point. I thought it's always interesting that we spend our whole lives working towards some goal. And when we reach that goal, we say, oh, well, we're too old to enjoy it now. Why do we have to do it this way? Can't we recalibrate our lives, which, by the way, is one of the reasons why Recalibrate Your Life came to fruition. But can't we love what we do, enjoy ourselves, actually make money at it while living in our material world and not have to wait another 40 years to retire? And that's where I started changing my life and going from IT and transitioning and basically taking a 180-degree break from what I was doing. And now I can happily tell you I love what I'm doing. I love it. I'm happy, and I'm teaching others to do the same.
Well, I think that's awesome because if we can live our life and be happy with how we are doing that now and being in that present moment where we appreciate everything and just being stress-free and just having that mobility in our life that, we can enjoy ourselves. And even though we do have the stress that it comes at us, but we have a way to combat that and that we could be happy doing those things. And you mentioned there's 8 steps. So can you explain a little bit more about those 8 steps?
Sure. The 8 steps are simple. And by the way, this program is designed to be simple. It's designed to be simple because we're way too busy to be doing something difficult and adding another thing to our schedule. So when I designed it, it was meant to be overly simple. The acronym SEAMLESS actually stands for those 8 methods. Number 1, the first S, if you will, is sleep. Right?
Oh my goodness, I could definitely use more sleep.
and so can everybody. My wife and I were talking about that and doing my research and seeing things like sleep debt. Initially we thought, okay, well, right, we're not getting enough sleep during the week, but maybe we'll just get enough on the weekends. As if that works anyway. But assuming that it works and you're getting the extra couple of hours of sleep, does it really make you feel that much better? Not really, because your sleep debt is something that continues to accumulate and you need to deal with it. So sleep, and not just the amount of sleep, because you can be sleeping for 8 hours or 9 hours a night and still not get enough sleep. That's about the high quality of sleep that you should be getting every day. So that was one thing that's very important for all of us, and obviously it doesn't require any additional, income or real, huge change in your life. It's just more of a priority.
Absolutely. And, I remember being in college and having to stay up a lot of nights studying and, losing a lot of sleep. But then I was able to come back. That's because I was younger at that time.
Yeah,
and as we get older, we need to be a little bit more consistent with our sleep.
We do. And what scared me the most, and again, I'm an educated person and I read a lot and I consider myself a well-rounded individual. That being said, I never knew that right now there are statistics out there that 1 out of 5 auto accidents in the United States every year, which amounts to about 1 million accidents, are all due to a lack of sleep.
Oh my goodness.
That's a tremendous number. And I started looking at statistics and research, and they're showing that, what are things that we care about, right? Obviously, accidents is one of those things. Another thing is brain development, health, energy, being lethargic. You want to be productive at work? Well, you need to get enough sleep in order to do that. You want to have sex? Well, 26% of people can't have sex, or they don't want to have sex because they're just too tired. So these little things that we all know we should be doing, there's a lot of reasons for us to do them. And that's one of the parts of the program, is explaining the why to make sure that we have enough motivation to actually implement them.
That's motivation enough.
I think so. It was for me.
When you get behind the wheel of a car that weighs a couple thousand pounds and, you're in control of this car and, if you're not awake and being able to drive or being distracted, I think that's really important. And, just making sure we get enough sleep overall, for our healthy lifestyle, like you mentioned, the sex and being productive at work. And this is also important to people.
And all of us can relate to driving while we're sleepy. And we've done it, and there are different ways of coping with it. We can slap ourselves, we can pinch ourselves, we can, turn on some music and try different things. But how about just getting enough sleep and solve the problem at its core? That's the first part of the program.
That sounds great. Wonderful.
Sticking with the simple theme, the second letter in the seamless is the E, and that all deals with eating and drinking. And by drinking, unfortunately, I don't mean alcohol. I'm not here to say that drinking alcohol or coffee is going to be great for you. That's not what this particular program is about. It's amount of water and the quality of water, for instance, in the drinking. How much water do you need every day? Because it really flushes out toxins. It does everything for your body. If you're dehydrated, then all of your energy, your bodily mechanisms, it's not going to be delivering the right nutrients to your cells in the body. It won't be removing toxins. Everything is very important. Obviously, I don't even have to say anything about food, but how many diets are we on throughout our lifetime? You go to a book and you see how many books that are dealing with this is the right nutrition for you, or you're supposed to be eating these. A lot of them are contradicting each other. Where's the actual truth in there? And that's a part of the program of what do we need to do really? And what are some good habits to get into that we can do on a daily basis that don't require investments or huge change in our lifestyle, where we can be healthier by default, by just following these simple principles?
Oh, absolutely. I think being healthy and knowing, to drink water. A lot of people forget to do that, and they become dehydrated. Because by the time you really notice that you're thirsty, you're already hit the dehydration mark. And it's the quality of water, right? The pH and drinking a healthy balance of water in your life, especially people who work out or just every day knowing that you're going to get food or water from your food. But it's also important to drink so much water.
And even simpler things. Again, doing this research opened my eyes to a whole world of possibilities. But, simple steps of drinking water also curbs your appetite. And if you're trying to lose weight, as most people are nowadays, we're all trying to lose weight. For me, it's my last, 8 to 10 pounds that I'd like to lose. Yes, I'm on the program and I still have weight to lose. It's drinking water. You drink more water, you want to eat less. So do the simple things. My nephew, who's a chef, who's a wonderful chef, he started gaining a lot of weight, and as I guess it'd be very traditional in the industry. And at some point, a couple months later, he shows up and he's skinny. And I said, "What happened?" He just said, "I made a conscious choice to shut my mouth and stop eating and follow some very basic habits." And if he can do it, and he's in the kitchen every day, and I've tasted his food, this is very high quality food that you really want to eat. If he can do it, then we certainly can do it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think once we set our minds to things and have that strong intention, that is what we want to produce in our lives, that somehow we envision it, it will happen. And there's a lot of ways to do that.
Right.
Dr. Emoto, who's the person that passed away just recently. However, his information, his knowledge, his work is going to continue with us for so many more years to come. And I just love how he, had these ideas about taking water, freezing water, and looking at the crystals and seeing how beautiful that they can be, when we put love and intention towards it, and putting that good conscious thoughts into the food or the water that we're drinking, and noticing the difference in the crystals.
Because we're 60% water. As adults, we're 60% water. I think as children, we're 75% water. So it's very important. And we'll actually come back to that point when we get to the L letter of how we work with the program, but it's very, very important.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, what's the next letter?
Next letter is A in the seamless, and A is activity. So the ability to be active. This is the part where I found fascinating. Again, 14% of Americans own a gym membership, but only 5% of Americans actually work out.
Isn't that amazing? So good for the fitness membership clubs.
Good for the health clubs. But in terms of workout, those statistics are basically saying, who is actually working out at least 30 minutes a day. And that's 5% of Americans. And that's a very small number, obviously. And exercise is important to everything in your life. But it's the type of exercise, and it's the rigidity that we usually put ourselves in, or go into health clubs, or, I belong to Lifetime in Vernon Hills. I love the club, but it's expensive. Do you have to go to Lifetime in order to work out? Of course not. You can go anywhere. You can work out anywhere. It doesn't matter what your schedule is. You can work out in the office. So as long as you're active and doing some form of aerobic or strength or other activities for 30 minutes a day, which I will show how to do every day in this program, that's all that your body needs. And it has to be flexible. So one day it could be biking. Another day it could be swimming. Another day it could be yoga. Another day it could be going lifting, playing basketball. You can do all of this regardless of where you are, if you're on vacation, if you're at work. I have another practical tool that I'll be telling people about is the Fitness Cubed. It's designed for you to work out in the office. 5 exercises, 5 times a day, 5 days a week, and they take 5 minutes each time.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to have some kind of like that one.
It's coming soon. This
great.
program is launched first, and then that one will follow shortly.
Okay, because when I was in school, I was in team sports, and I was really involved with that, where I got a lot of exercise. I was in shape. And then when you go into the world and you're working, your schedule changes. You're not the same person. And to incorporate a program where you can do every day and be happy doing it, that sounds fantastic.
It is. And this program, just to clarify and things, it's not going to build muscle for you. Now, for those people that don't work out, this particular program, let me rephrase which program I'm referring to. I'm referring right now to the Fitness Cubed, not to the Seamless. It won't build muscle, but it'll help you with the toning, it'll help you with flexibility, and it will get you working out. So you'll see a difference. But if you think that you're just going to work out 5 minutes, a day, 5 times a day at work using Fitness Cubed, and you're going to build a lot of muscle, that's not the case. That's not what it's designed for.
Right, but to be heart healthy,
right,
and knowing that you are doing
things,
something, as long as you're exercising, you're thinking that you're working out, and you're doing something about it, taking action, right?
And again, we talk about, people want to fall asleep at 2 times during the day usually. They want to fall asleep at night, and then during the day, around the lunchtime or right after lunch, there is that lull where we feel that we want to go to bed. And what do we do at that time? Many people drink coffee, other people take some energy drinks. You don't have to do that. Aside from different food that you can take, including a banana that has more energy than many of those things, you can actually do this 5-minute workout, and you have a whole boost of energy that's going to get you through another 2 or 3 hours. So there are a lot healthier, simpler things that are not going to cost you anything that you can do right in your cube. And that's really what the program is about.
Okay, it sounds good so far to me. That's the next letter.
Moving on, that would be the M. M stands for meditation. And meditation is something that we've heard about for many years now. What I found is that most people think that meditation is this transcendental meditation where you're sitting in a certain pose and you're going off into a different world. And it is, but it doesn't have to be that way. There are so many different forms of meditation, and you certainly don't have to do it for hours at a time, not even for 20 minutes at a time, although that's, suggested. But you can do 3 meditations, 3 minutes a day, and they take 3 minutes each. One of my good friends, that's her program. 3-minute meditation 3 times a day. And it does wonders. You can be doing meditation while walking. You could be doing meditation while listening to certain music. You can be doing meditations while washing your dishes. Meditation is something that allows you to get out of your conscious mind. It allows you to make sure that you are getting back in contact with yourself. And that can be done in so many ways that people who just can't imagine sitting in one pose with their eyes closed for 20 minutes, you can do these meditations.
Oh, wow. That's a different take on meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I am a meditator myself, and I enjoy meditation. Just being able to take some time for yourself,
right,
and going within. And, meditation can have many faces.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them that you mentioned, sometimes we're just doing meditation, not realizing that we are. So you're saying adding also a conscious thought to it.
Yeah. And I found, and I talked to many people who are, in the field, so to speak, of human development, and many of them said that their best ideas come to them when they're in the shower. And I found that very much to be true for me. Is when I'm in the shower, my conscious mind is busy doing something else. It's washing my hair, it's making sure the water temperature is right, it's busy doing something. And then all of these thoughts are coming into my mind, all of the insights are coming in. It is meditation. It's a form of meditation of really just slowing down your conscious mind or giving it something to play with. That we do, for instance, if we, one form of meditation is focus on a certain point. You're doing that so your mind has something to focus on so you can get back inside. So this program teaches you very applicable skills on how you can meditate every day, regardless of how much time you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the shower meditation. And a lot of times people are so relaxed that these thoughts come into their minds and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. And I just love that, because when I'm in the shower too, I think of those things. The ideas come to me, and I also think of blessings, like the rain, the water's also blessing, and, putting white light down into me, and, then filling myself with golden light. Yeah. So it's also that kind of meditation.
Agree completely. Cleansing, it could be washing off the energy that you've accumulated. Many people are empathic, and you just pick up on a lot of, so-called energetic dirt, if you will. So there are many wonderful benefits to it. Here's a shameless plug for my website. If you go to allenvaysberg.com and go to gallery, one of the memes that I do, which are free and anybody can download and post them wherever you like, that is a shower meditation. So it's a 5-minute shower meditation prayer. And it's rhymes. I'm a poet, so everything has to rhyme. But it's something that I use all the time.
Oh, it sounds great. What a great way to live your life, and with rhyme too. So you can remember these things that you're with your program through rhyme, and help people to be able to understand it easily. So go ahead with the next letter.
Next letter is L. And L stands for 3 types of love. Now again, we can get into the esoteric aspects of it, but when it comes down to the actual reality of life, if you don't love what you do, every day is a waste. Right. So the question is, how do you love what you do? For some of us, like me, I made a radical change, and I changed what I do and aligned myself and aligned my career with what I love to do. That's a very drastic change. Not everybody can do that. For some people, it takes a long time to do it. For others, less. So loving what you do or changing your attitude about it is one type of love that we teach in the program. Second type of love is loving yourself. And that's where I come back to your statement about Dr. Emoto. And, Louise Hay was doing the same thing. Your affirmations, standing in front of a mirror and saying to yourself, I love you. So from the Emoto perspective, we know that because our body is water, all of those thoughts are reflected back at you. So when you are saying to yourself, I love you, you feel it. And if anybody's doing that right now, let's take a second, just say to yourself, close your eyes and say, I love you. Just feel what's happening in your body right now. I feel the vibration in my body as I'm saying that. So that just alone, that step that can take you literally 3 seconds or less.
Oh, absolutely. I could feel that when I said it to myself. I just felt my body just relax. Yeah. All of a sudden, it just said, I'm just melting. And then I felt in my chest, I felt my heart, and I felt like, oh, this is wonderful.
Right.
If you just look in the mirror and just say, I love you to yourself. Yeah. And, when you're putting your makeup on or you're doing your hair, instead of rushing through it and thinking of all the things you got to do for your day, take that moment for yourself. And enjoy that. So I can understand what you're saying.
Because we're being bombarded, right? We're being bombarded by criticism from everywhere. We're at work, your boss is telling you, no, you're not doing this right. Your coworker is saying this, or somebody has it better than you, or people are having relationship issues. We are love-starved. And the simple truth is that we're usually looking for love on the outside. Love always and will always come from within. So if you are focusing on you, then that will allow you to actually expand out and really allow you to love somebody else. Because you can't really respect or love somebody else unless you do that to yourself. So loving yourself is a big part of the program.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, when we have the love for ourselves and we're going inside and we're thinking, who we are in this moment. Not who we're going to be, not what we were, 12 years ago or, when we were a little girl or a boy, but thinking about just loving who we are in this moment. Yeah. And then this is all reflected back out into our world, and like you said with the job, for example, it's like you're in a job and some people may stay in a job for 30 years and not really loving what they're doing. But if you change things around or the universe comes to you and changes things for you because you're not following the path that you really came here to do, these things open up other doors.
They do.
And just being thankful when these doors do open.
And while this program is very simple, there is a lot of depth and universal truths in it. Because that my experience coming from the world of spirituality and law of attraction and mediumship and channeling, all of that really is integrated fully into the program. For those people who are very spiritual, who understand channeling, know that this program was channeled. This is not something that I just invented. This is me tuning into myself and tuning into my guidance and finding things that would work for me and give me the ability to share with the world so it can work for others. Because that's what it's about. I do have a program. We're launching it. Obviously, I'll make money off of it. But that's not the point. The point is to give something that everybody can do very simply and make their own lives better. Because if they make their lives better, then they can reflect that change onto those people around them, and we can start changing the world.
And then you said there was a third one for the love?
And the third type of love is, all right, so loving yourself, loving what you do, and what was the third one? Hey, I'm missing. Let's move on to a different letter. I'll come back to the third type of love.
Oh, no problem. I know you'll think of it sooner or later. Okay, so the next letter.
So we have S-E-A-M-L-E. So expansion and growth. Expansion and growth. When people are, again, coming back from work, you just worked, now you have family obligations to take care of, all of a sudden you realize that the whole day has passed and you've done nothing for yourself. And you've done nothing that you actually love doing. You haven't, there's the third type of love. It came out. Thank you, universe. Let's come back to that. So inserting something that you love into every day.
I like that a lot. I'm glad you thought of it for this program so we can hear that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I know our listeners are just waiting to hear what that was.
There's the third. And obviously, universe wanted me to go there instead of going to the next letter, which we'll come to in a minute. But inserting something that you love into every day. It could be something very small. It could be something large. It all depends on your time and that particular day. But whatever it is that you love, whether it's going outside, whether it's painting, whether it's reading a newspaper, reading a book, whatever it is, everybody has our different things that we love doing or talents or desires. Insert something that you love into every day, and then every day will never be a waste.
So especially if our listeners have a hobby,
yeah.
And maybe they put their hobby on the side, maybe take time out to do that. Or, take a walk outside. Now it's getting colder out here, being in Chicago.
Yep.
We know how this weather is just transitioning.
Yeah.
So then we transition our lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I love how these points are, and looking forward to the next letter.
Thank you. And now we're coming back to the E, so expand and grow. The idea behind this one is that we, for whatever reason, as adults, forget that we are still the same learning mechanisms that we were as children. When we were as kids, our parents would sign us up for different activities, or we would be made to read different things by our friends, by the schools that we went to. We continue to grow, and we often use the expression of children are sponges, and by the time you're an adult, you don't do that anymore. Nonsense. Children may be assimilating information a lot quicker than we are because we have a lot more to sift through, if you will. But we have to continue to grow. We are, as the Terminator put it, I'm a learning machine. Right? We have to be that way. So inserting something every day where you're growing and expanding is very important. And it could be as simple as 2 seconds when you go and you read a new word and you remember it. Or it could be a lot bigger than that. And if it's not something that you're doing that's new, but for instance, I know how to swim, but I decided to take a few lessons with a swimming coach. And I learned that, oh my God, I knew how to swim, but I certainly didn't know how to swim properly, because now I can swim a lot further without expending a lot of the energy that I was doing. So you can go expand wide or you can go deep, but continue growing and expanding every day, because that will change everything for you in terms of how you view the world, how you view yourself, how opportunities that you thought were not possible are going to present themselves. You have to continue growing and expanding. We're too comfortable in our little box, and we should get out of it. Otherwise, you're going to get that midlife crisis, or even later, where you said, okay, I haven't really done anything, and I've been doing the same thing over and over again. Don't do it. Expand.
I really love that. That's really awesome, because, if we're not moving forward, we're not growing. We're not changing things about ourselves and making ourselves interested in learning new things. So, like you said, and plus you would have a different swim coach or
Exactly.
tennis coach or
Yep.
whatever it is. You're working with new people, and it's always great to have a mentor in your
Right.
life. Someone that you trust, someone that you can learn from, and continue on because you just never know what you're learning, and at the same time is enjoying yourself.
Very
And
true.
nice impersonation of Arnold. Really
Thank you very much.
appreciate that.
I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And just being free, just like you just did. Just opening yourself up, doing your impersonations.
Yeah,
Here.
however bad they are, but yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. But inserting that into your life and just enjoying what you're doing and appreciating yourself, because then you're giving something back to yourself.
Right.
And getting out of your comfort zone is another thing. So it's always good to do something new, something to improve on.
Because that's where the growth is. And that's where, our fears are somewhat keeping us in our little boxes. And every time I've gone out and done something that goes outside of that, I've learned a whole lot about myself and the universe. And I saw just how supported we are. And example after example after example, it's a fascinating world out there. And instead of looking at the internet or admiring the people who are achieving something, why not be those people?
Absolutely. Do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Take action upon yourself and do it.
Yep.
Instead of sitting on the couch watching TV or watching someone else, be successful. But, being thankful that they are successful, but then see and do things for yourself.
Yeah, in essence, we're living somebody else's lives. We immerse ourselves into the programs that we watch, into the news that we listen to or we read or we follow, and we end up living somebody else's lives instead of actually living our own. It's fun. It's much safer that way, but is it really why we're here?
Oh, we all have our own reasons why we're here. And it's also important to help other people with
Right.
their dreams.
Yeah.
Because by that token, we're also helping ourselves.
Yeah, it's giving and receiving is the law of the universe.
Absolutely. It's that flow.
Yeah.
That wonderful infinite flow. So go ahead with the next letter.
Yeah, two more, and for everybody who was listening, thank you very much for your patience. But the last two letters are both S's. So the first S in those two is sunshine and air. Sunshine is supremely important. Vitamin D, you've heard about it. It's very important to be outside, to get the fresh air. Without enough fresh air, you're not going to get your body to function properly. Without sunshine, you're not going to get your body to function properly. And even small things that I've never thought about are because of sunshine. So if you're not getting enough vitamin D, fertility goes down, or cavities are on the rise. I did not think that those two were, because of sunshine, but they are. So sun regulates your melatonin levels. It regulates a whole set of structures. Remember that we are beings that were not necessarily meant to be inside all day. We should go outside. There are many people who are just not getting enough sun, and they have SAD, which is the acronym for people who are, when they're living in the winter and they're not getting enough sun, they get depressed. So many things are because of sunshine. So being outside, getting enough fresh air is important every day.
Oh, of course, definitely. And you can do activities outside, just, taking a quick walk.
Yeah.
Or, being involved in some kind of a sports activity.
Yep.
It's really important.
Yeah.
And, if you're not getting enough sunshine, then check with your doctor, right? And there's something that can be done with that as well.
Yep.
Right? Okay, those are wonderful, wonderful ideas and ideas with the seamless method. Sir, go right ahead. One more thing.
Yeah, the one more thing that would be less S, that's your stress management. So, and I look at it not as management because I don't want to manage my stress. I want to reduce it and eliminate it. So the ways that we can all do that.
Okay. Well, no, I really appreciate that because stress, we need to idealize and figure out how we can manage our stress.
Right.
Because every day we have stress from our thoughts. We have stress from traumas, right? And toxins that we take into our body, like the food and the air, the pollution, just everyday things that, affect us. So it's all really important to address. So what makes this method, it sounds so simple,
Yes.
but really, what's behind all of this? What makes this work?
Behind this is the energy of the universe guiding you to a better you. Okay, that sounds great. But it is meant to be simple. It's meant to be simple because I didn't want to add anything more to your day. I wanted to integrate things that you already do during every day and then add additional things and change your thinking and change some of the patterns in order to allow you to do those 8. So what's behind this are 2 things. Number 1, showing you the why to give you the motivation. And we have, I think, 150 different life hacks and techniques that show you for every one of those 8 how you can actually integrate it. And then focusing very much on how you can actually combine them. Because most of us know we should be doing these things. We may not care enough, and that's why I provide the why with the motivation. But most importantly, most of us don't know how to combine all of those 8 in every single day. And that's the key to this program, how to combine them so everybody can do it.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I can give somebody a book on how to do something, or look this up, Google this. But for example, a mom to be, right? They don't really know what it is to be like a mom. Even they could read all the books, they could talk to other people about it. Mm-hmm. But until they actually take the action and do it, you don't really know what it's like.
No, you don't.
So absolutely. And what are the benefits of doing this program?
That's another beautiful part of it. What I didn't realize, and there were many discoveries for me along this process, what I didn't realize that the top 10 health risks that are there for us in the United States, the top 10 killers, if you want to put a name on it, such as cancer, such as kidney disease, Alzheimer's, high blood pressure, all these 10 things that I don't even want to list. All of them, the chance of getting them is significantly reduced if you follow these 8 simple things that we've identified in Seamless, which was a shock to me. How could something so simple be the answer to such huge problems? And they are. It's not just me saying that. There's actual scientific research. So that's a huge benefit to everybody, myself included, because I'm on the program. It's realizing that you can do these things and lower your chance of getting these horrible things to your life that will change your life for much worse. Let's put it that way. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is knowing that each one of these 8 actually feeds the other. It's a very holistic system that shows the people that you don't have to think that if you just want to lose weight, you have to stop eating or you have to start eating healthier. Because by meditating, by getting more sleep, by exercising, by getting fresh air, by getting enough water, those things are going to help you. If you want to reduce stress, then you can meditate, you can work out, you can get enough sleep, and every one of these 8 things is feeding the others. So the benefit is in getting 8 techniques, one of which I'll share in a second, but 8 techniques on how you actually can combine this into every day. In getting this ton of research of 150 life hacks and help you to do each one of those 8, those are the benefits. Very simple, very flexible system that everybody can incorporate.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. And I know here at Sungates Center, you'll be teaching and you'll be holding class very soon.
Very soon, it's coming.
We're really excited to have you here and looking forward to learning about these 8 simple steps, but how important that is that we can integrate that into our lifestyle and have a better quality of life all around.
Want me to give you one of those 8 tips?
I would love to hear it. I know our listeners would too.
So one of the 8 tips is, of course it has to rhyme, don't whine, combine. It sounds simple, and it is. Because if you're trying to get enough exercise, if you're trying to get sunshine and air, you can do one of these things. You come home from work, you have to spend time with your children. For those of us that have children, I have too. Why not go outside? When you go outside, you're playing with your children, you are lowering your stress levels, you're getting sunshine, you're getting air, you're getting your 30 minutes of exercise, and you're doing something that you enjoy doing. Don't whine. combine.
Sounds wonderful. What an awesome way to do this. Well, thank you very much, Alan. Do you have any closing remarks?
Closing remarks for everybody is don't just think that you should be doing something. Do it. We all watch these wonderful motivational videos on Facebook. I was watching one yesterday about a paratrooper that could not walk, and he started doing yoga. And in 14 months, now he's running, and he lost 140 pounds. And it's hugely inspirational. And people cry, and people share this with everybody, and then they go on to their daily lives. Why do we do that? Don't do that. Make a difference in your own life. Simple things, simple steps that you can take, whether it's this program or any other ones. Make a change. It will change your world for the better.
Oh, absolutely. And I did see that same one that you're talking about, and it just almost brings tears to your eyes to see somebody in so much pain. And then they've overcome that, and through simple techniques, through someone that believed in him, that he could actually do it, and that gave him the faith to move ahead and move forward. And with your group and the support that people get from coming to you for this program, they will receive just that.
They will.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Alan. Thank you for being on our program. Really appreciate you and look forward to having you here at Sungates Center. And for more information, you go to sungatecenter.com for more information. And we're just here to share in the light and enjoy each other. So thank you, everyone. Peace to all. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.